Hello, everybody. We are live. And we're going to join an arena, the one that just started here at 5 o'clock on the East Coast. We can join a Sicilian arena. Oh, but it starts off in the Cheven. Let's just join a 3-0 arena. And while we're here, let's make sure that we share this link. But our game should start momentarily. There we go. $22.70. Give me one moment. Okay, oh, we got a Jobava London. Could be fun. Bishop G5. Oh, maybe we can get a French transposition here. Oh, yes. I have a Gambit here that I have on my channel. This is the chess mood game. Oh, he didn't take on D5, which is kind of a shame. I'm thinking with the bishop pair, it's best to keep the position open. With this move, takes e4. To me, that feels like the principled thing to do. Maybe, is that an annoying spot for the queen? Seems a bit potentially random. Maybe we should just come back home. But yeah, with the bishop pair, I'm happy that we opened it up. Just go bishop e7, something normal like this. My opponent looks to the long castle. Alright, let's play b6. Long castle's interesting. I also have not committed my king, as maybe I'm looking at c5. Which way do we want to go? I feel a little unsafe going with the long castle. We're going with the short castle right now. I feel like they're in a good spot to attack. They don't want to trade either. Clear a6. Maybe c5 is my next move. Everything they're doing makes a lot of sense. Let's castle now that the rook came to the middle. I feel like the rook should have been over there. So now, maybe we can get something going on the queen side. I wish I moved faster earlier because these weren't super consequential decisions. But my opponent's playing very solid chess. Now they want to trade. That's the first move I disagree with. I think just pawn takes c5 or g4, g5 quicker made more sense. Here I'm fine just playing like b5, straightening out my position a little bit. Is this a good spot for my bishop? Maybe. And maybe we can prepare b4 with no c4. Would be the goal. Let's get off of this. And also I want b4, and I don't want them to be able to push past. Right, like I said. Here we go, b4. And let's pick up the pace a lot. My bishop might be distracted here. That might have been maybe not the best. Yeah, distracted my bishop. Now they can take b4. I will take h4, honestly. Ooh. Interesting. Yeah, okay, they have cd4, right? takes a 2. Way low on time. This was poor time management. I think this was quite poor time management on my part. G6. I think oh, I'm winning. Yeah, I got him actually. No. King A1, their queen will defend. Yeah. Well, I am winning, but it's kind of beside the point. At this point. Now queen takes b3 and they're fine. Yeah. Otherwise, I had them. It's just so hard to play with such little time. I just needed to get out of the way of these checks. But anyway, kind of crazy game there. Not the best start. Poor time management on 3-0. What's up, Chris Levy? How you doing? All right. Well, oh, wow. Look at that. That's pretty funny. I'm genuinely not sure what to do. Okay. Take. Trade queens, force their king to the d file. I guess they have bishop b4 if I go here. I mean, it's fine. Like, I'll go bishop d2. Wait, you're just going to give me this? No. I think bishop f5 wasn't great because I was going to put my knight right there. In this case, I have an h5 or an h3. I should... What am I doing? I forgot about c2. What am I doing? Alright. We gotta be a little better than we have been. King takes might be fine here. It comes with tempo. Bishop should come back here. I have h4. Let's just go rook in. h6. This seems good. Next, the bishop will e6. Why not? Okay, they can give a check. But their bishop, yeah, I don't think they wanted that trade. My pawn seems good. My threats seem good. Like now this one, right? Again, very short on time. Damn, do I have nothing good there? It's a good move, I guess. Alright, we're taking g7 and going with the h-pawn now. New plan. Oh, knight d3? How did that even happen? My bishop is blocked. Oh my god, I'm so lucky. e8 seems good pre-move. No, terrible pre-move. This could go. No, how did that even happen? It's tough to play when I have no time. Alright. We gotta do better. That was bad. That was embarrassing. What's up, Bonsai Burger? Alright, we're gonna do better. Okay. This Berserk's definitely gonna work out. Bush gas. Except... No. Alright. Boring, declined Italians. How do we get them? We put our bishop on g4. Whether or not they play h3. We don't castle. We let them castle. We go the other way. And we get them with this pin. d5 they play. I would love to open this, actually. Should I just, like, do this? Yeah, why not? Rook g8, kind of a fun move. My next move c6. Takes, and bishop h3. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? c6. Pawn takes f6. I think I kind of played my hand there a little obviously. Queen up. I would like to put my pawn on g4 to force some pawn trades. Let's get out of the way of d4. I feel like that could be a good resource. I think maybe they could have done it last turn. Bishop back there makes sense for them. However, if I could take and go knight f4 check, that might do it. Although g5 was also a very good move and would finally make rook g8 start to make some sense. This seems strong. I don't have to wait any time because bishop e3. Yeah, this is check. Queen h3. Bishop e3 last turn. Oh, that's just gonna be mate. I think we could have held on here with maybe king h1, and then queen h3. They had rook g1, right? I think what I really needed g5, g4 at some moment to make that pawn trade and open up the g file for the rook. But yeah, we got an Italian declined here, just normal stuff, but we delayed our castling. So bishop g5, we can always meet with h6 and g5, which looks really, really good for us, and then go the other way with our king. You always want your bishop to g4 in this sort of stuff. Even if they play h3, just even better. Here, take, bishop comes to g4 in an even better way, with the g file already open. So here, yeah, I mean, rook g8 was a little bit presumptuous. My opponent wasn't dumb enough to also give me that capture. You know, maybe you should have kept it there for a minute. It's also hard to hold blockades on g3, I'll note, when you have this pin, right? Because sometimes you can just take that if this is pinned, you know. Well, here they have the h-pawn as well, but, you know, you can always put more pressure. Anyway, eventually we got him. What's up, Jake Biederman? Have I played till Tuesday at all? No. My Tuesday schedule does not work. I cannot really play at 5 o'clock on the East Coast anymore. I gotta be in the office those days. So, hasn't been working. I've just berserked at 2038, which seems a little high. Got it. G6 Caro Con. Okay. I should probably just play e5, right? I feel like that's also what they think I'm going to play. This seems dumb. Seems dumb, but I really don't know what to do against it. I'm just going to bring my pieces to the middle. I feel like I've seen this little weird setup thing before. Like, what do they want? I don't know. It's e5? It's like a tough nut to crack, you know? Like, they guard every square around you, so it's... But that's why I'm not going to try to crack it at all. Here. Tried to open this a little bit. Takes here. I don't know if this felt like it made some sense. I'm just gonna play h3 next. Whoa, does that work? Oh, they have d4. Forgot about this. Yikes. Yeah, that did not go well. That did not go well at all. Yeah, I did not know what to do against this, I guess. Yeah, poorly played on my part. Really poorly played. There's nothing here, is there? No. There is nothing, unfortunately. Damn. A lot of puzzles from my games, really? That's cool. Send the link to one, I'll check them out. Did I see... What's up, Mirko? An r/chess recently had an interesting thread about the hardest concepts to grasp in chess. Top answers were pawn breaks and rook and pawn endgames. I do think... Yes. Those answers make a lot of sense to me. I do think pawn breaks are... Wow. Goring declined. Pawn breaks are what I recommend to people, you know, when you don't know what to do in the middle game. I talk about this, or I have talked about this at least a couple times. With regard to pawn breaks, that, you know, when you don't know what to do with your rooks after you developed, you gotta find some sort of pawn trade that's gonna help them. And we attack here, king h7. So like right now, like the c file is the one for my rook, for example. They're doing this. Okay, see, I'm willing to make this trade right now because I feel like their rooks are not in position for these files that are opening up. My rook here supports that. Maybe d5 and I'll attack c7. That makes sense to me. Although maybe I blocked my bishop, on the other hand. Rook e1 can't be wrong. Oh, I had h6 for a moment. I had h6. d6. I think this threat, though, is annoying, and queen c3 check can win it, even against a defender, because I developed first. So there you have it. That my rooks were helpful. Takes, I have this check is going to be quite useful. Otherwise, I'm going with this. Oh, that looks tasty. My bishop is now free. I got rid of the c-pawn. This is rolling. And here, I think we just go. Just gotta watch nobody hits my king, but I think my king is pretty safe. Queen d8, rook c8. Yeah, and it just started with active rooks. Started with active rooks that I don't know, made pawn trades that benefited my rooks and not my opponents. I think they were a little slow on developing these pieces. And that's what allowed me to eventually win that pawn and roll with this guy. Will there be a video about 2 knight f6 in the Alapin? Yes, there will. there. Well, I gotta work on that. I gotta work on that, especially if I'm recommending the Alapin as your repertoire. Until then, enjoy the Yang Yans. That'll come. And then, I mean, yeah, Rook and Pawn endgames, I mean, more than deserve their reputation for being quite difficult. That's checkmate, actually. I think the biggest things to understand about them is that they're like, first, I think they're like any endgame in that passed pawns are really, really important. Keep trying here. Passed pawns are really, really important. Liquidation, you know, if you can trade rooks and win in a king and pawn endgame, you know, you should always do that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, there's many different kinds of ways, and they're like any chess position where you want activity from your rooks. Yeah, I mean, there's a number of options against the Alapin. There's the abstinence gambit, which is recommended by several viewers in my Discord. It's kind of like the main line-ish that I've been playing. It's not really the main line, but it is a gambit with e5, knight d5, d4, takes knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, knight b6, bishop b3, which I like a lot. And then there's also this line that Schrantz has recommended, if I recall correctly. So my opponent plays the very passive bishop e2. I think against bishop e2, like d5 seems even a little bit tempting. I'll castle short similarly. I mean, I wouldn't have played castle short if that were on c4. Oh, that's why they did it. A little center fork trick action. Takes no bishop to attack on c4. Now d4 is coming. That makes sense. That's smart. And it's kind of a spot where I already castled, so doing a Stafford kind of thing does not make any sense. So, yeah, well done on their part. What is the Bowden Gambit? Can you tell me those moves? White also had the option of f4 last turn, further attacking this knight after knight g6, e5. I've seen this idea, actually, from a couple, like, 4 knights positions and such. That was not a good move. I think I'm just winning this pawn. I'm not sure there's much compensation. If I were uncastled, then the bishops would be doing a lot, but the pawn on f4 is not useful. I think White's simplest option last turn was bishop d3, just protecting e4, putting the bishop maybe on a good diagonal, and then preparing f4 next turn. But right now I'm attacking the c3. You should probably defend it and just d5. I don't think I'm kind of up a pawn. They also need to beware this diagonal anytime you play f4. I've made and seen that mistake too many times to count, of forgetting about this and it biting you in the buttocks. Knight g3 takes... I have knight c... No? Yeah, this is actually just a good move. I should just go here. Well, okay, f5. I should have gone all the way back to c8, actually. I just invited f5. I should have gone all the way back. g4 is a good move. Somehow I didn't give this any credit. Let's go here. Yeah, this is not bad. Okay, they take that way. Go here. Okay, not much time at all. I'm going to try to keep queens on and get them. It's unclear who's attacking who. They don't want to trade queens, but they should have covered that square. I think queen d4 is better, because now I'm hitting g2 and h1, and this is a type of battery where you can't really guard both of them. As I think about queen h1, it wouldn't have done anything right away. King f2, and I had nothing better than going back, so queen needs some help. Ideally, I go rook e2, and then queen h1. But yeah, you still can't guard this, and now queen h1 is big time. I think you have to lose a rook. Actually, queen c5 check in that position, right? Even better, queen c5. So that was a good move, and I should take this rook and try to win in 14 seconds. Here, so sure that was even helpful. Could have been the opposite of helpful, actually. That's good. That's actually quite good. They put the rook on f1. Oh, that's mate. That is a mate after rook takes f3. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. 4-5, knight 3, knight 6, bishop c4, knight takes e4. Oh, reverse Stafford. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Stafford up a move. I cannot argue with that. Cannot argue with the Stafford up a move. I would honestly not play knight takes e4. Okay, 2372 we're playing, Mr. Enkiss. Can we get the Graif-Banko? Yes. We are going to transpose with this tricky move order. Oh, e4. This is a rare move. This is a rare move. Is he going to play the e5 line? The knight a4 line. This is one of the top recommendations that I made in the original video. Because here knight takes e4, bishop d3. We really have nothing better than back. And knight takes c5. White's doing pretty well. So here we play d6 with an interesting position. We've stopped any kind of white play on the queen side and gotten that knight to a4. But white does have a little more space. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. How to play this? Got a few options. I want bishop g5, just on principle, swapping those dark square bishops. What I'm going to do first is play this move g6 to keep this knight out of the f5 square, as we battle for control of these squares. a3. Should I play a5? I think more annoying is if I start here with h5. A takes b4, I will play h4, and then c takes b4. Which I don't really want that trade, but achieving h4 would be great. So I think h3, that might have even been a mouse slip. I don't think it was a mouse slip. I don't know, a little presumptuous to say. It has some sense to it. Okay, let's play a5, lock this down. I think we've made some good progress on the king side in terms of controlling squares. I feel good about that. And we're going to lock this down as well. Slowly but surely, I want to take as much space as possible. So knight h5, control this, and bishop g5 is going to be my next move. I do have to be careful. I don't want queen takes g5 and allowing knight b6, in which case I'll actually lose material. But bishop g5 otherwise is very appealing. It's perhaps possible right now, because take, queen takes, knight b6, queen takes g2. We have queen f3, right? Something I'm going to play is rook to a6, just to get that, not have to deal with that. I would have gone knight d7, but I didn't want to block this. They play b3. I was going to say that knight is annoying to defend right there. Now I want bishop g5 and queen takes g5. No knight b6, and I think we're doing a good job with a really, really solid structure. The rook is defended also against any like shenanigans. Like they had maybe takes, knight takes c5, attack my rook with that rook, and then after like takes, queen takes a1. I was looking at this line. Takes, queen takes e5. If it were check, if my bishop weren't there, then I would have lost that rook. But now that line doesn't exist. Take, knight takes c5, I can just recapture because my rook is protected against their rook by these guys. So let's trade there. Maybe bishop f4 made some sense. Now I feel good about promoting my knight on f4. I think we've made a lot of achievements here. I think we made a lot of really good achievements. So what next? What is the next stage of my plan? Perhaps f5. Let's keep this rolling. I think that knight on f4 looks phenomenal. I'm really happy about the way things have transpired. I kind of wish I had more time in this game. Okay, like I said, I don't have to take. Let's go queen g5. Attacking g2. So they had to take to go queen f3. after queen to f3, I'm just going to try to maybe activate this guy. Let's just maybe play bishop d7, king up, and rook over. I'm not sure what to do about you. Oh, knight to f3, but now what are you doing about this? Also maybe g5, g4. If you take on f5, I have a very pleasant choice. Oh, maybe, yeah, so they're just going back. They don't really know what to do. I also need to move fast. Maybe I just invite, yeah, queen a1. Maybe we should go back. Perhaps just castling. Okay, well, no, that's no longer an option. Take queen f5 was my idea. Not sure if it's any good. That's quite annoying. I have to trade queens. Yeah, I wish we had time to maybe play a more accurate game. Flag him at this point. Oh, check. Oh, check on knight d7. Yeah, I think this was a high-level chess game, and then we just kind of didn't have too much time. But I'll say a couple things about this opening, at least. We had here a6, and a3, and it's the c5. So this is the Graif-Banko Gambit, which is the very, very fun move order where we can try to get this position, basically. This position out of the Banko is very, very good after e6 because of all the lines that I detail in the original video. But there's a couple ways. So, yes, the Banko Gambit would be c5, b5, sacrificing this pawn, and here in ac3 is not a great way to play against it, right? This transposition is what we want. White here has other options such as b6 and the main line pawn takes a6, which, you know, very, very common stuff. In getting this transposition, there are ways that white can not allow that transposition, whether pawn takes c5 here, as I talk about in the video, as a good option, or even here, there's other moves other than c takes b5. They're not common, but one of them was played here by my opponent, which is actually a very good option, e4, and after b4, knight a4. So typically this knight doesn't like being displaced, but here it attacks c5 in such a way that we can't really play knight takes e4, because after bishop to d3, this is quite good for white. I've taken a lot of space. They've kind of messed up our pawn structure. Even though we have this move e5 here, which is actually kind of nice, here white is better. So the best option here for black, as I also talk about in the video, is d6. This is my first time ever getting in a game because this is such a high-level kind of way for white to play. We have sort of a King's Indian structure, except where I am a little advantageous on the queen side. You'll note in a King's Indian, it's more like this. If the pawns are back there, then white really wants the c5 break. Otherwise, I have the queen side kind of locked up, and you saw I played a5 to really lock up against any a3 ideas. I'm not sure white should have played a3 at all. I think they would have been better off maybe just castling and leaving that locked, leaving the queen side locked, in which case I probably also would have castled that way. But anyway, everything seems a little locked. But I talked about here trading dark square bishops, and my plan here, so first I play g6 to keep out knight f5. I play a3, I play h5. So this trade wouldn't have been fun, apparently. It takes b4, h4. Apparently they just could have survived, like this wasn't a huge deal, and, you know, playing c takes b4, probably not fun. They open the a file for themselves and now have the idea to play c5 at some moment. So that would have been a good option for them. You can see how the eval bar fluctuates here up and down after h3, where I achieve h4, driving that knight back, and then still able to play a5, locking up b4. So now I feel like I've achieved good things on both parts of the board, and here comes the next phase of my plan, where so I play rook a6. Okay, they just want a knight f4, and this trade would have been totally fine, which makes a lot of sense, actually. E takes f4, and the bishop sits really nicely now. All of a sudden, this bishop has a phenomenal diagonal. What was the worst piece on the board, locked in by all its pawns, is really cooking, and is not even restrained by its counterpart, the white dark square bishop. So, yeah, I mean, great diagonal. So that would have been a good idea on my part to make that trade. I didn't fully realize that. I play rook a6 to stop knight b6. And now with bishop g5, though, I mean, I'm just, like, it's blitz game, and I'm achieving the phases of my plan, and I was able to do that. So the knight sits excellently on f4. We traded my bad bishop, right? The dark square bishop shut in by my dark square pawns, which the same color as your bishop means that it's going to be restrained, whereas for white, they have light square center pawns, so their dark square bishop was their good one. It was the one that was free, and you see their light square bishop is the one that was restrained. So this is a great matchup for me that's left because of the coloration of our center pawns. You want the opposite. You want to be able to control all the different color squares, right? So here, I can control all the different color squares with my light square bishop and those pawns, and the pawns don't get in the way of my bishop. Whereas for my opponent, the opposite is true. So now my knight lands on f4. g3 is really hard to play owing to this pawn. It's hard to dislodge, and we've got some targets and tying them down, so this stuff seems great. f5, we're cooking. Here. Queen g5 would have been better off distracting this queen a little bit and making g2 hard to defend. Oh, not there because of queen a8. I guess take bishop f5. Yeah, and we can get some good pieces in there. And then after the king castles, it might be hard to attack that king. I played queen g5 here, so we just traded. Knight f3, queen back, knight d2. My opponent, yeah, it's hard to play because this knight is doing such a great job. And so I have a nice advantage here. Did not love bishop d7. Because, I just had to play bishop c8. I was a little afraid of this invasion. Knight b8 was fine at saying, just because queen a8, I had this option to castle, so that's fine. So I just played bishop c8. Yeah, here's a point where it's a little bit better for me, but we're kind of running out of time a little bit. And so white starts to become okay. I was just like, okay, let's trade queens. And it's still a little bit of a better endgame for black, probably because... well, I mean, I have lost this knight. They were successfully able to trade off for this knight. So, I mean, it just was what it was, and now it's equal. Although here I allow rook a7 check, which would have been maybe kind of devastating. So, yeah, interesting game there. But, yes, a great way to play by my opponent here. e4, allowing b4, and knight a4. I think they knew that somehow because they played this really quickly. But otherwise, great line to play. b5, if they don't take you, b4 generally does really well. Like, if they just do kind of something else here, b4, and this is probably pretty nice for black because they haven't achieved e4 themselves. So after e5, maybe you can start taking just kind of a lot of space in the middle of the board. But otherwise, our favorite line is the one that we get most of the time, which is take, and e6, and fun stuff here. We got, like, check, and I don't know. This is just one example line with the rook a6 nasty idea, which you can get all the time as well. So first time playing probably a good line against the Graif-Banko, and it was by a good player. So subscribe if that goes on YouTube. All right, back to the arena. Is abstinence what I do against the N6 to Alapin? Yeah, it's definitely an option. So embarrassing to lose to a Halloween. Yeah. Yeah, Halloween Gambit stays winning. Okay, Alapin. D6. Yeah, any moves that just don't stop D4 don't make much sense. Because here I am happy to just take the whole middle. Here I can now play bishop D3, which feels like a good option. I can even play D5, which feels like a tricky option because a check and take. I'll play bishop D3. Bishop D3 leaves E5 on the table. Should I play here D5? I can play bishop E3. I can play knight E2. I'll play this one with knight E2. So bishop G4. I have this F3 option. This feels a little vulnerable. I'll just castle for now, though. I gotta pick up the pace. What do you think? F4 and E5 seems like an option. How do I get that? How to get it? Oh, D5 seems good. We're just run it over, right? What do we think? E6. Ooh, yikes. I don't know. Is E6 a good idea? Why not? Take and F5. Just they're not castled, and also I can win the rook. Yeah, we're in a spot where I can win this rook. I also had a check to force king f8. I don't know. We're just going for it. C4 made more sense last turn. This seems good. Take G6 now. Somehow we crushed those squares. All right, let's go here. here. Seems the least blockable of my main options, and not quite. This first. No, that wasn't right. I think I had it. Well, okay. My next move is probably just knight f4, honestly. I need to be... I thought I could just win this with a sacrifice kind of right away. Take g6. I will go take g7 if they take g6, because then knight e6 check with the fork. Otherwise, this... Oh, knight e6 won the game, threatening there and mate. No, this wasn't what I wanted. Oh, wow. Yeah, we got it. Okay, he resigned. Whew, tricky one. Yeah, interesting game there. Interesting game. I guess it's tough. Like, I thought I would checkmate right away. But you got to take what you can get. Got to take what you can get. All right, playing number 1 in the arena. Set the color complex when I have the bishop pair. When you have the bishop pair, you just want things open. You just want, you don't want the position to be locked up at all. As fewer center pawns as there are, the better. I played d5 too early. It was rook e8 and then this. It should have been rook e8, bishop f3. Okay, wait, we transposed. That's kind of funny. All right, let's do a full transposition. So this, Gambit glasses. This is the... Yes, bishop f5. This is the knight d3 Bushgas Gambit, which is a pretty good line, albeit rare. So after knight c6, the most common moves are knight takes c6 and knight back to f3. I think something we can do here that's good. It's like knight d7. Maybe I'm going to take it and play knight e5 next. I like queen h4. But knight d3... Yeah, so this is the theory. I've covered this in another video. Gambit class is on. Yeah, so it's an awkward square for the knight, but it has a tempo on our bishop. Alright, so the game was e4, e5, knight f3. Bishop c5, knight takes e5, knight c6. So if knight f3, we played d5. If knight takes c6, we get d takes c6. So knight d3 was an interesting option. I think it's time to take this. Can they throw something in? I don't think so. Knight e5 takes. Then I would take f3 first, right? So that can't be good for them. Other option was like queen h4 to defend this. I mean, they're threatening this, right? We're down 2 pawns, but these look tasty. Let's play knight e5. Attack the bishop. Bishop e4. f5. This is an interesting line. F5. Takes. It might end badly for me. Need something good here. Queen h4. Take. Might not have what I'm looking for. Bishop on e4 is good. I need f5. But I'm going to lose what's attacking this. Well, f5 takes doesn't work because I'm attacking the rook, right? So f5 takes b6. Takes e4. Takes a8. Knight check. Can I make that work? Takes e4. Takes d4. What would I play there? Let's say knight takes d3. I think that's an interesting line. Knight takes b6. I spent so long thinking about it. Takes e4. Takes d4. Well, if takes a8, I think I got, like, check. So that was the best line. And I was going to do this. I was going to go, like, takes d5, but there is knight takes d7 there. So I just have to do this. Oh, wait. I had less material than I thought. I'm down a rook? I thought it was down exchange. Okay, wait. That was terribly done on my part. Ugh, what are we doing? What happened here? Oh, I didn't... No, my opponent just did everything right. What should I have done? It didn't even like this move much. My opponent did everything right. Queen d6, knight a4, and just try and grab the pawn back. Well, because, yeah, the line, it just wasn't working. I just did it because there was nothing else good, but this was +2. Yeah, the line with knight d3, so we know knight f3 and we go d5. It's more common than knight d3. Knight takes c6, we play d takes c6. This is the main bush gas stuff. Knight d3 is an interesting line. It's awkwardly placed. We try to take advantage of that with rook e8, attacking this pawn. Bishop f3 is the only way to defend it, and then we sacrifice the second one with d5. Takes knight d4. So this can be really fun stuff. Bishop f5. And then, like, the main ideas are what I tried in the game, which is taking and bringing the knight to e5 and, like, queen h4 and continuing to attack. And otherwise, you can get back some pawns that way. All right, well, do that better next time. Blunder Villager wrote, "How is Graif so good at predicting when I have to leave the house and miss another stream?" Crying emoji. Sorry to hear. Hi, William. I discovered your channel a few months ago, and I slowly started playing your Gambit repertoire. I've been crushing with it. Keep it up. Thanks so much. That's great to hear. Good work. Good work. Thank you so much, sir. Well, someone wrote something about bishop c4. This is the Bowden Gambit. Knight takes e4, and we'll play knight c3 to be up a move in the Stafford. Let's see if we can't get it. Yeah, we can't get it. Oh, well. This is an interesting gambit too, though, right? d4. This is a move. Takes like this, and we play e5. c3, I think, is also a move. e5, they play d5 is a good move. At this point, I don't know what's happening. Maybe I'll just go take and check and take. Does that make sense? I don't know. Should I defend this? No, h3 and try and trade on h6. I think castles was maybe a mistake in that case. They should have played d6. This seems like not what you want if you're black. I would not want to trade my knight there. Spicy. Alright, you can play d3. Queen takes. Bishop takes was what I wanted to reroute that way. And great gift. Maybe. Not if they play d6, because then after check, queen h5, bishop f5 could cover h7. So that's a good move. Here. They want to take it? I shouldn't have even come back. I had, better. Okay, let's go after it. Here and here. Oh. Well, now h6, I have an h7 with a fork. I also can bring this guy in with tempo. So I've got a few compelling options. But yeah, my king, like they gave me like one check and then kind of another check, and my king just wasn't exposed enough for that to make much sense for them. Oh Jesus, what happened to all my time? Is that working at all? Ah. Missed the piece. Can we get him? Queen h6, right? Yep. Nice. Okay. I can't believe it. Alright, next arena, which will be in 7 minutes. We will play with more time on the clock. Another berserk? Why not? I've learned no lessons. Video on the exact line. E5. There's no way that's good. Take it. Whoa. I think we got him here. There were just a lot of hanging pawns in this. We got him with the pin. Oh, and the queen. Cool. Alright, alright. I would love to play a Black Mardeemer. Well, the Von Papil rather. But typically I play e4. So I got a lot of other gambits against e4. Again, like, you know, against Caro-Kann, I got the Von Hennig Gambit. Against e6, I got the Alapin Gambit. Against e5, I got the Gorian Gambit. Against e5, we got the Yang Yang Gambit. But if they play d5, if they play like a Scandi, then I'll play like e4, d5, d4. Oh, can we get a Leela Gambit? Bishop e5. Take my pawn. Yeah. I had these ready. So this is also featured on my channel. Wow. I was going to say there are a few options to defend g2. None of them were great, but they are counter gambiting, giving me that. I guess I didn't really have a choice those past couple moves. Did they have a plan? If they took g7 twice, then they would have... like, take g7, then bishop g4 would have given lots of issues. I think we got them with this pin. Yeah, so this is a very, very good gambit to play against the against b3, the Nimzo Larsen opening. After e5, d5, I got a good video in this line. But basically, their idea is to play bishop b2, bishop b5, and attack the e5 pawn. Now with my bishop on f3, we have some mating ideas like that. Although they have queen f1. This seems annoying also. My bishop's doing a great job. Rook c1's obliged. Let's castle. They cannot. I can. Okay. All the pieces joining the party. And queen here should be mate. I don't even need to recapture their queen because I can... Oh no, my bishop used to be guarding d2. I should recapture their queen. Check and mate. Nice. Okay, GG there. We had a kind of an up and down arena. I only won... Well, out of the 12 games, I lost 4 of them. I berserked almost all of them. Let's do a better arena. Let's play 5-0. I think 5-0, 3-0 can be a big difference. So let's run this 5-0 arena, and we're going to get some higher quality chess, I promise. Face a Polish opening. Yes. Against b4, take the pawn on b4. That is my recommendation. That is the absolute simplest and best way to deal with this utter nonsense. Take it. Don't let them mess around. Now, all you need to do is you just castle. You're just way ahead in development. Here, here, here. Super easy. No tricks at all. You're just ahead in development. You're just ahead in development. That is what I recommend to do against b4. Literally just take the pawn. I don't know why people have hesitancy to do that.
10,
I guess like the principle
9,
of trading that for that.
8,
but they're so
7,
White's just so
6,
behind in development here.
5,
and this is just
4,
super easy.
3,
Cool,
2,
cool, cool. Let's go
1,
with this arena.
0.
Adamisco, what's up? Okay. We're going to start off with number 2 in the arena. We get a modern. Against the modern, number of options here. Let's go with our Grand Prix. Okay, e6. I feel like against e6, what I want to do is just get that pawn to h5. First, I'm going to play d3. Yeah, so h4 here seems good, because the knight doesn't want to come to f6 anymore. It wants to come to e7. And I'd love for them to play h5 to stop me. Now I will use this square, either with the bishop or the knight. Or I will just try to kind of bull rush with f4, f5. All of these are options. I think we're going to start them off with the bishop. I mean, f6 would be great. I'm happy to come back. And here, an interesting idea I had was to just play g4 right away. I think what makes more sense, though, is to go queen f3 and bishop f6. But g4 right away was a little tempting. Queen f3, knight c6, bishop f6, knight d4. Alright, I'm going to go g4. I'm going to go for this. We're going to stay aggressive here. I like this. And I feel like I want to just knock him out right now. So let's take and bring that knight to g3 to dislodge this rook. Interesting to go knight g3 right away. I think there's just kind of no need. There's no rush on that. I'm just going to go knight a4, which is totally fine. I think if you're black right now, this kind of sucks because you're so far from getting away this way. You got to defend c5 right now too, probably. And what I'm going to do, like let's say d6 or that, right? I'm now attacking this rook. I think I've kind of really crashed through on the side of the board. First of all, I can stop their castling forever, but now there's no reason I shouldn't just play h5. And rook takes and queen takes h5. I mean, their king's just going to be there, and I'm just going to get him. Just going to get him. So, yeah, h4, they played h5. They were just kind of messing around. You know, they played a6, they played g6, they played e6. And I wasn't really down to clown like they were. Let's take this. Take h1, knight takes h1. All right, you know what? I'm going to take e7. I'm going to take e7, because I'm going to take away knight takes g6 as an option. I want that king on e7, and now I'm going to come get him. So let's take... They don't have to take g3 because their rook will hang. So they have to take on h1. Oh, if I took g6 in the other order, then maybe in this position I would have had takes f7 check with their king still there. But then again, they could have played knight takes g6. But this I still like. I'm going to go... Oh, wow, they really didn't like this line. Takes, knight takes, takes, and I was going to go queen g4. Attacking there with a really nice long castle to come there. Here, I still feel like I've got a lot of good options. I don't like my knight here because they want to take it where it is. But I still feel like I've got a lot of good options here. Let's take f7. Yeah, I mean, even after king takes, like, I've got, well, I was going to say I have queen f3, queen h5 check. I also had knight f5. This kind of reeks of desperation. I think I should just take it. Like, they just don't have any other pieces around. King f1, king e2, king d2. Not king d2, but either of these seem fine. No, not here. In fact, we narrowed our options down. Queen f4 check would have been bad. This is the only spot with no queen f4 check. I respect the way they're playing. You know, this, like, it could get me. Can I get him with all checks? Check here, queen f1. King g7 stops another check. I think best to probably just play c3. If I play rook h8, knight d4, yeah, I could lose this way. I could lose this way. Because knight d4 and queen f4 could checkmate me. I mean, I think I can actually run there in that line after check. It seems so unnecessary. Queen f1, knight d4, king d2. Or even king d1. Bishop b7. Okay, wait. Let me promote. I'm going to come here with check, which is good regardless. Covers f4 and allows my king to run back with a queen on the other side. The line I'm thinking about was actually rook h7 takes queen f7 check. King, let's say h6, rook h1, bishop h2. They're probably okay after bishop h2, in truth. Oh, they just go here to avoid everything. I think this is a filthy move. No, they have knight d4. Okay. Okay, and 25 seconds. So let's pick up the pace. E5 they have to play. Oh well, now everything's coming together for my pieces, hopefully. How do I not have no good moves there? Oh, bishop g. How did that happen? Oh, what? Yikes! 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 No, this was misplayed. Oh wow! What a gift! What a gift! Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. What a roller coaster. Fairly poorly played game. Well played at the beginning, but then very bad afterwards. Oh, knight d7 to be mate? But I have to take this. He resigns. But I had 10 seconds. Wow. Okay. Not a great game. Not a great game, as I kind of messed that up there. Need to handle my time a bit better than I did. Adamisco. True Gambit legend in his own right. Love your videos, my man. 5. So if I play f3... I saw people discussing this in the Discord. If I play f3, they have some like secret idea like e5 or c5. Because obviously that trade would be great. I think I'm giving my opponent too much credit. Do they have some... No, this seems good. Oh, let's go check there. Check. 7. Check here. Yeah, I mean, this looks bad for black. Queen e8, knight d5. It's gonna maybe then just trade queens, then take c7. Okay. What do I even do? Knight to f4. Let's just castle. Funny position. Not sure there's such a brutal knockout blow at the moment. Transpose Benoni's into Smith Mora. Yeah, against knight f6, you just gotta play knight c3 first. No way my opponent's still just trying to cling on to their pawns here. Oh, queen g5. Good idea. Queen g5 check. Trades things off. Don't allow it. Knight h3 makes a lot of sense to stop that and prepare knight f4. And then the knights will be hopping around. Hoppity hoppity. So they stop knight f4. This is a funny, funny game. g4, f4. I can go check and takes. I could also just do anything with the rooks. But yeah, gotta watch out for your own king. Queen g5 check could have really, really saved him. Just trying to keep the pressure on. My opponent has not had a great opportunity to develop these guys. I think there's a lot of good ways to proceed. Even queen g6 and trading f6 and then knight d5 check and winning this rook would have been completely fine. Like you know, winning is winning regardless of how you do it. What's up, Gambit Cow? Take, queen takes. You take. After queen takes, I mean, rook f1 is a good move. Knight takes e4 is even a good move. This seems bad for black. Well, I have queen e8 or queen f7. First thing about the Leela Gambit is you can't transpose into knight 3, b3. That's true. There is no transposition there. That is true. Oh, let's take this. Queen takes 5 here. I think they've been defending pretty well. I'll check. There's this. I guess my most clear threat is winning the queen here. I think I should go for that one. Can't grasp the plans in the middle game. The plans in the middle game in which line? This could be mate. Ah, it is mate. Nice one. Nice one there. So yeah, we faced a Scandi, but we were able to transpose to a Von Papil. This is not a great line. Main line Von Papil is knight f6, bishop g5. Yeah, 5 here, not the best option. It allowed, yeah, I mean, they had brutal light square weaknesses here where they couldn't play g6 anymore after h6. I mean, very dangerous moving your f-pawn in the opening for that reason exactly. All right, we are second in this arena. No, fourth. Impact Capital. Okay, 1991. We'll try to berserk it. Push gas. Acceptance. Fun, 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 fun. Here we go. Okay, knight c3. Let's hit him with an f5. Let's hit him with an f5. Knight f6 would have been the Stafford transposition, but would have allowed h3. So here we see bishop c4, which already allows me to take f2 and win that. I'm probably going to do it. I do have other good options, but I think I should give my opponent enough credit here. Queen d4, this queen e2. Knight f6 is a lot of fun, but I'm going to go for this. I know this is objectively the best way to play. Knight f6 was very justifiable, though. Okay, let's take our bishop. And we're even on material, actually. I think I would rather be black here because I can castle. Yeah, I might have missed my opportunity to open the F file. It's better if I were able to open that. Let's go after this bishop. I'd love to get this to f4, and then maybe we can get our pawns rolling a little bit. But honestly, here white's just generally okay. That is the truth of this position. Let's just go bishop e6. I'd love to dislodge that knight and get that here. Tough to do. I'll play b5. Keep things spicy. Take c6 can't be played because the bishop's hanging. f5, f3, e5 seems nice for black. Interesting. I don't know anything about that. Oh, I should have taken, because now in e2 they have this. Well, okay, I don't know if that's true. Yeah, so against f5, I mean, if that's a good option, then it begs the question about whether white should play f3, or maybe something like bishop c4 first, right? Wow, low on time. g5 seems like it can win a piece. Not without compensation. Interesting. G of f4. d4. It's gonna come back. Trade. I guess they'll take b4. No. Okay. Should have gone with the other rook, probably. They had rook f7 check instead of recapturing on g3. Oh, what a brutal pre-move. I just need to go en passant there, and then actually a2 is pinging. But this is just not good with the on the clock. Thought I had time to berserk, but it wasn't. It wasn't meant to be. Yes, I play Von Hennig against the Caro-Kann, not the Alien. Although, seen some good content with the Alien Gambit. But the Von Hennig is just kind of OP. Alright, we gotta berserk to get back in this arena. Gotta get this one. What if we play, delay Leela Gambit? No? What is my opponent's idea here? Should I just play d5? Alright, well, we got the bishop pair. I wonder what they're going to do with their king. I'm going for the strike because I'd like knight takes d5, and I thought they were going to play d5 themselves. That might have been a bit imprudent. I wanted this. Seems very aggressive. Probably best to just come back. I'll take this. Don't see a good reason why not. Well, knight c4 actually might have been a good reason why not. I gave up that square, and it's annoying. Okay, I should go here. Alright, you can't defend both, defend one. Defend neither, rather. Because it could only get me one way, so just do something else useful. Here, I think just castles. Just castles, and I think we're going to be in the clear here, and we snag this pawn. That wasn't really the way I wanted to play so much, but this is what ended up happening. Try to limit this as best I can. Bishop f3, perhaps. Just play simple g3 to protect this. They're really trying to open things. I guess that was the issue. Taking with the b pawn, opening up the file. Yeah, no, that was definitely an idea. That was definitely an idea. Although my concern there was I have to choose one way to castle. So if I played this and I already had h4, was kind of the concern. like I'd already played h4 and take c3, so then it's like, which way are you castling? But if my pawn were on h2, then probably pawn takes c3, because then I could castle this way, if that makes sense. Here we're just going to try and win this up a pawn. They don't want to trade. Kind of interesting. Okay, gotta be way faster here. Can I get him down there? That trade would be good because I'm take queen. Yeah, and queen e4. Nice. Nice. And I get the queens off and we don't. Oh, wait. They king c5. Was that winning my pawn? Maybe. But we got him. Oh. Nice. Okay. Okay. So we pulled that one out. Yeah, so we were up a pawn, but the way to win that up a pawn is to trade everything, right? Like just king and pawn endgame is going to win. So I made sure, like I had an attack there, but I made sure I was happy to trade everything if I had that line where I was forcing with queen e4 check. Got the queens off the board, and then up a pawn and king and pawn endgame is an easy win. Whereas up on a queen and pawn endgame, tougher for sure. Mostly the accepted lines that you can understand. I think, yeah, well, knight takes f4, I think, is in general not advisable. Oh, we're playing top dog in the arena from Impact Capital. All right, well, I'll berserk back. It is the honorable thing to do, as is playing the Bushgas Gambit, as is accepting the Bushgas Gambit. What a game of honor we have here against FM Impact Capital. So, Bush Gas accepted, Gambit Glass is on. We'll see if they play the main Stockfish line with c3. Otherwise, we can get a... So, I can play this f5 line. I'll do the Stafford transposition against this one, because we get fun stuff no matter what here. Whereas against knight c3, native 6, h3 really kills the vibes. It's kind of like the refutation of the Stafford, as I understand it. Here, I mean, they're already in a spot where they got to play bishop e3. So this was not the best handled by them. If they castled to defend f2, it would have been much worse with lines like queen h4 that knock them out. In this position, I'm going to land with the bishop as the bishop cuts their castle. Let's go here, queen g5, to continue to cut their castling in both directions. So queen d4. Good option. This seems great. This is why I went queen g5, because now my bishop is protected there. So this is seeming quite good. Bishop e2 is tough to play because of check. Why don't we just castle? Because I want f5, right? Which way to castle? We've got good options kind of all over the board. Let's just castle short. And f5 is what I want to do. I have this check. It's not like they're threatening to castle regardless. My e3 bishop is killing them. Alright, let's give the check, force him onto the f-file, and then play... Ooh, not forced onto the f-file. Let's go here. Yeah, I like f5 here. So takes, I gotta go take c3, right? Kind of thought I had something clever. Yeah, we should go take c3 to not lose any material. But yeah, f5, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It's just a pawn trade. I'm not sure I should have allowed this way. Yeah, I gave them this option that they liked. So I was not able to free my rooks exactly the way I wanted. But I'm not sure they're doing too hot either. They want to take b7. Are they going to get away with all that? Take b7? Take b7, rook e8. Take c7, take f5, take queen g4. Or I should play rook b8. Probably. And just go rook b1. That's the way in. Oh, they're coming here to patch that up. How do we get in then? Here. They can't go rook f1. I can trade in queen d2. Otherwise, I want queen e3. No. How are we getting in? I don't know. Seemed like a cool thing to do. Bishop b2 was good. Okay. Oh, what a mouse flip. I went rook e3. Oh, rook e3, and I'm just winning this so easily, and I take e5. But my mouse skidded. Brutal. I so had him. I so had him. That sucks. Okay, well, that was a good game, though. That was a good game. It's damn, worst way to lose. Alright. Alapin Gambit. Gotta go on to the next one. Damn, I wish I could have that back. Alapin accepted. Fun stuff. Gambit glasses back on. I like this line, knight f6. I mean, it's the main engine line. Most people here recommend knight d2 just to really encourage them to take f3, but I like getting this because most people just play knight f6 here anyway. They don't realize that I'm not actually attacking this. I don't want to take it right now because there's queen h4 check, which will win back the piece and not in a good way at all for white. If they go queen h4 check right now, it's going to lose a piece. A lot of people do this, actually. It looks good because g3, knight takes g3, but I, in that position, use the other bishop with bishop f2 with a pin here, in which case my pieces are cooperating really well. You can imagine this position, bishop f2, pinning them. There's no queen e4 check in that position because of my late square bishop. Yeah, so they just come back knight f6, and we transpose into a position where they just would have went takes, knight f6, and bishop d3. Right? So, yes, the absolute best move for black would have been like c5 here. Just striking. Almost no one does it. I'm not sure I've ever faced it. Here we can get our favorite stuff with the Alapin. If they don't castle, then I'm going to develop and try to get their king in the middle. Or if they castle long, then I'm also going to try and get them there. If they castle short, then we've got our favorite stuff, our favorite maneuver. There's no f2 pawn, and that's actually going to help us for a couple reasons. One, it opens the rook. Two, it gives us this secret diagonal. The less secret diagonal is this one. This bishop is going to kill him right down here. Their light square bishop is not in the game. If it were on g6, they'd be totally fine. But what's going to happen here is my queen's going to come to h4. That knight's going to be frozen due to the mate threat on h7. They're not going to be able to play h6 because I will. So well, okay, this is interesting. h6 prematurely. Queen h4, the knight's not frozen. They have knight d5 potentially. Interesting. Could play queen g3. King h8, queen h3. I think the move we want to start with is knight e5. Although it does leave that vulnerable. Okay, let's just play like knight c3 or something. Actually, wait. So this is not going to be as simple. It's not going to be as simple. And I'm actually... That's what I like. I like good chess, good challenges. They played h6 first, stopping my easy idea of queen h4, attacking there, and then just trying to pile up on this poor knight. But I don't have queen h4 right away if I'm not threatening anything. And knight d5 will attack my queen and my bishop. So we're going to have to just kind of continue developing and see what they want to do. Yeah, you're not the only one that does mouse slips. You are not. This could be good. This could be something nice to work with. I'm gonna go here. Threatening take h6. Something I was interested in was queen h3 to threaten this. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to first play king h1. I expect bishop b7. And now queen h3. So I didn't really have the h4 square. But I want to step off of this. King h1 is never going to allow any nonsense over here. And will allow me to play knight e5. But I'm threatening bishop takes h6 more than anything. So I wanted to support that. So I went kind of the longer way. Although queen g3 came with tempo, I was threatening bishop takes h6 when we had this pin. Now this is difficult to defend. Knight g8 was played. And now here we come with knight e5 threatening f7. And I am glad I played king h1 because my bishop is going to want to do stuff without queen takes d4 check. Knight e5 was probably what I could have done last turn. It's just... I was a little afraid of this check, but I think it was kind of nothing. Anyway, I don't think there's much rush in this position. And we've got some good tactics here. Like rook takes, rook takes. I have bishop g6 there. I also have knight g6. King h7 takes. None of that is strictly necessary. I also have d5 to try and go queen f5. I also have knight g4 to try and take h6. All of these could be good. f5 could save a lot of things for them. So I think it's important, actually, maybe rook takes f7 is an important one. I think this is good. Yeah, I mean, everything's really just flowing because our pieces are just so good. Our pieces are just super good here. I think f5, yeah, could have defended a lot of things as soon as their queen was there to guard against knight g6 check. It's this bishop that really does it. They needed to contest that diagonal. They tried developing over here, but their pieces here were really just too slow. And he even got that extra move kind of almost for fun. This was a good defensive idea they had, keeping my queen out of h4. But we just use h3. Yeah, I mean, bring the pieces is never going to be a bad move, but it could just be a missed opportunity. Right? Like, I think after rook a1, they play f5, and they're holding on. Not that d5 wouldn't have been winning. This is probably the best option, actually, that they played here with queen takes f7. But I think it's quite lost nonetheless after takes. And, oh, well, I was trying to zigzag onto here, and I'm realizing I actually have no options. Did I have a better move than queen takes e6? I guess not. It's tough for them, though. Knight d7 is not an option. Yeah, knight c6 allowed knight d5, so only left knight a6. I could still take knight d5. Let's play your d5. It seems strong, threatening queen e4. That's a good move. Don't want a knight to come to f6. Here, my idea was to threaten d6. I think it's going to do the job. Bishop d4 is also really strong here. Rook f7 and queen g6. I think that's just about the ball game. d6 was a good move, though. d6 was a good move. It threatens this bishop, and if it takes, knight takes e4. This rook here has not done much, but it's actually done the most important job, preventing me getting checkmated. So we cash in there and attack some stuff. Now they have a bishop and knight for the queen. I think it's time to just play h3. And not get checkmated. Rook takes f6 is probably... Well, then again, I have nobody else. But it is a situation where, like, rook takes c2, takes... Assuming they didn't have rook c1 there. But I was going to say, takes, king g8, queen g6, check, wins the rook. But anyway, this was a good game. This was a good example of the Alapin Gambit at work. I think there's a lot to take away here. Because I'm not sure I played so flawlessly either here. Okay, 92 accuracy, 84 for my opponent. I get docked for bishop e3 every time. Bishop e3, I mean, I love the Alapin Gambit. I have another video demonstrating why it's undeclinable. There's no good move other than d takes e4 here. If you play knight f6 here, this becomes just like a very good French, and I show some good examples of that. So d takes e4, f3. Yeah, and this is another situation where it's very difficult to decline. Because, well, if you're black here, you probably don't want to allow just pawn takes e4. But then again, if you do nothing, you do have this idea of like queen h4 check and recaptures. But something you can do if your white is knight c3 or knight d2, if you want to stop bishop b4, right? And as I kind of touched on this other idea, just to encourage pawn takes f3 to happen. Most people, though, are going to either play pawn takes f3 or knight to f6. And you can actually see my stats here. This is me as white, so I don't really have any issues with knight to f6, as a lot of people try to do, and overall, so here with 51 games. A lot of people play knight to f6 because the point is pawn takes f3 is now going to give us our development advantage that we were looking for. We get the bishop to d3, and we're going to take this diagonal because their bishop is locked away, and when we get the bishop to d3, we can get the attack we're talking about in the game. Knight to f6, I'm going to maybe get back to, or, you know, we can talk about this right now, other options for black in this position, because they do recapture here in bishop to d3. The reason why I like this isn't because it's the top engine recommendation, but because it's so tricky. Here I have 4 knight f6s and 1 queen h4, actually against me, which is pretty funny. Queen h4 check, as I mentioned, will lose a piece. g3, you're already not going to be able to stay on this knight because of this move bishop to f2. No queen e4 check. And you thought you were pinning my pawn, but I am actually pinning you. Bishop to d6 can delay this another move. Again, don't use that pawn because your rook will fall. You can play here queen f3 and a2 and pick that off, and you will be a piece ahead. So a lot of people will play queen h4 check thinking they have knight takes g3, but the bishops here do a great job. Otherwise, yes, we're not actually threatening to take this, is kind of the funny part. If they play c5, it's not the end of the world. You don't want to take this. Queen h4 check and queen takes e4. This is, you know, just terrible situation, as the queen on h4 collects the bishop. You know, the bishop can't come back like a knight can to maybe block the check and get out of the way of that. So c5 here, all you really need to do is play knight f3, which you were going to do anyway, and now the knight's under attack. So, you know, totally fine. Because the knight's under attack because you were, you know, stopping queen h4. In the game, my opponent plays knight to f6, as most people will do. We now play knight to f3, and here they castle. And a lot of people here meet quick deaths. I'm 7 for 7 here, and I think, you know, if you look at the Lichess database, yeah, 59 to 38 for white here. If my opponent just plays like here, and I go queen h4, again, knight's frozen because of the mate threat here. No h6 because of this brutal sacrifice here, and then knight g5 and such to follow. And otherwise, you know, if you just kind of ignore this, well, the knight comes to e5. You can play bishop g5 if you need to as well, but takes and takes, right? You just eliminate that knight, and then you eliminate that pawn. So the only way to defend against that is really, like, to play, like, g6. Already here, there's, like, knight c6, I think is a nasty move, but, like, something like this. And even in this position, you're winning a piece here. You can play bishop takes e7 or bishop takes f6 next move, depending on how they recapture on d7. And otherwise, you know, you can always just load up to put a lot of pressure on the f-file. You know, they need to play g6 not to get mated. Put a lot of pressure on the f-file and then an f6, and then on f7 behind it. Or this rook can even come around, put a lot of pressure on h7. Just a great, great attacking situation. And you can say bishop e3 is not a useful move because sometimes you need to play bishop g5 anyway. But the bishop on e3 does a great job fighting against c5, which a lot of French players will want to do, and also defending the d4 pawn. And also, you know, just stopping kind of e3 and forcing this trade to happen. So yeah, we lost the f2 pawn so that the queen had this maneuver. In the game, h6 is a mistake, but it is not as much a mistake because it kind of deterred me from my main idea. You can see here, well, the eval bar, I'm very surprised that it likes this so much. The main idea for black that it's recommending is knight c6, so that there's actually knight b4 here, which would trade off for our precious, precious bishop. So you got to watch out for that. The best move here would be like a3. But otherwise, I mean, almost nobody's going to find that. Here, h6 is, I think, not a bad move at all. Knight c3, it is plus 0.4 now, and my opponent here now plays b6. And now here comes queen g3. So these are the top engine moves, and this position is plus 1.5 as my attack kind of rounds into form. Bishop on b7 is the best spot for the bishop. You know, it can't come out this way, but it's not doing much. The best was knight g4, getting rid of this dangerous bishop. I say dangerous because it was threatening maybe to take h6 at some moment. If I come back, then c5, you know, you got to kind of bother me and not let me get what I'm looking for here. Because, yeah, queen e4, then come back knight f6, so they're okay. Interesting stuff here. I mean, I'd still rather be white for sure. The bishops are looking great. All the pieces, rooks, lots and lots of activity there. But b6, I mean, you can't fault them for b6, but here comes queen g3, threatening bishop takes h6. And yeah, if knight at h5, I was going to play queen h3, hitting the knight, and if you go back, now I get the sacrifice that I'm looking for here. Knight, again, is frozen against queen h7, mate threats, and now knight g5, I'm going to take it for queen h7 anyway. So that wasn't possible. King h8 was forced. I just played king h1 to burn time. But yeah, knight e5, the reason why I was like, I need king h1 was because in a position like this, I was going to be like, oh, I'm threatening bishop takes h6, but I don't want queen takes d4. Of course, in that position, you can imagine that there's bishop e3 check that would get him. So it's not totally necessary, but always a useful move to slide out of the way, king h1. This is never going to be like a bad move at all. It's always going to be useful because, you know, as soon as you've moved or lost that f-pawn, this can always be annoying. And now, which kind of is the only thing black has going for them, and now they really don't have much going for them. The best move here makes a lot of sense. It's bishop a6, trading off for, you know, both these bishops are very, very good, but it forces the trade off for this one and keeps them in the game at least. Bishop b7 was played, and I don't think I gave them another chance. Queen to h3, threatening to take h6, so we take the long trot around to h3. It wasn't even that long because queen g3 had a tempo anyway. Knight to g8, and now here comes knight to e5, threatening f7. Pawn can't move because knight g6 is going to kill him, forcing king h7 and all this. And yeah, I got both my bishops cooking, and my opponent was just kind of played here and here. And a lot of people do that because a lot of people don't realize just how powerful these diagonals, plus this file, plus the queen coming over, and all these pieces really are. So knight e5, threatening f7, queen e8, my opponent was forced to play. And yes, this is the important blow. You could just play rook e1, nothing wrong with that, but I think after f5 here, maybe they're able to kind of defend some things. I still think here after d5, white is in business. Black's pieces are bad. So rook e1, you know, it's never going to be a mistake, things like that, but it could be a missed opportunity. And the opportunity here was rook takes f7, and queen takes was probably the best choice, because I think after rook takes, I was going to play bishop g6. Knight g6 was an option too. Knight g6 was an option too, but yeah, I think bishop g6 was best, and again, it's saying to give the queen, because yeah, knight f6, I think maybe you could take this as well or something. I mean, it's really brutal when things like this are working. You know, you need just like a little bit of development to be able to defend against these things. But yeah, here comes rook takes f7, and opponent gives the queen. And after that, Yeah, I mean, they're able to get their pieces in, but it was a little too late, and I was just kind of cashed in with that material. So subscribe if that goes on YouTube. Another good example in Alapin theory. Yeah, exactly. Okay. How did this happen? We got an Italian. They played Bishop's opening, and I played AC6 before Bishop C5. And we got an Italian. Alright. Am I still playing in classical over the board tournaments? Yes. I took a little break from that. But I will be playing the New York State Chess Championships in a month, over Labor Day weekend, which I am very excited for. I'm very excited for it. I will try to do better than second for the first time in my life. I would love to be New York State champion. Would mean a lot. Let's go long. We got this nice pin. I'm not sure what they're going to do to me. I'm fine going d takes c5. I think here d5 makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I could totally make recaps of them. d5 makes a lot of sense because I felt my pieces would do well in the middle with this open. Next, knight f4. I think everything my opponent's doing is pretty logical. Knight a5, I think there's queen b5. Take knight 4. I think your f6. Well, f6 there's knight e4, isn't there? Okay, I'll play an a5. I was scared of knight e4 here hitting my queen, and then I was going to lose this knight somehow. Well, they play here. Now knight b6. Oh, Jesus. I have no time. I have no time. Look at that time disadvantage. Classic me. Alright. I think we're okay, though. Because queen b5 now it seems better. Take a6. That's probably a better choice. I don't have a choice there. Take c4. Okay, we're gonna win this pawn. Cool. Knight d2, so they don't lose that one. So I don't lose that one. 28 seconds. Only down a little over 3 minutes. Seems like nothing. No biggie. No biggie. Let's play f6 and here. What? Out of all the pre-moves in the world, how is that their pre-move? f4? Are you kidding? I mean, they must have, like, seen my screen. That's insane. It's literally the only move that would have been good against what I did. This isn't good. I should have played b5 first. And just take a play 4. No, 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 no. Very stupid. Oh, wow. Talk about stupid. Jesus. Dumb, 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 dumb. Wow. They are nailing me on the pre-moves. Yikes. Okay. Okay. I got nailed on a couple of pre-moves there. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well, oh well. I can't believe my opponent just like put their pawn completely on pre. As I played rook d8. I mean, well. It is what it is. Okay. Philidor. Bishop d7, Philidor. Let's go here. Alright, no shame in developing normally. Alright, and like I said, King H1, always a useful move. Get off of this. Let's go Queen D3. A lot of things made sense. Rook D1. So E5, Knight D5, Bishop F3, something like this. F5 makes sense. What do you think? F5? No. Bishop F3. So after B5, yeah, I have Knight D5 or E5. This could win material, actually, with this hanging. They have to take. Then it's going to take F6. Take D1, take E7, Queen takes, or takes D1, that's possible. Or just Queen takes F3, which also makes a good deal of sense. And just Queen takes F3, simple. Knight back, maybe F5. I thought I had takes and I have 6 check, but I don't. I absolutely do not want to draw. I don't know why they offered that. Here. Yeah, maybe I just should. No, I didn't have F6 because they had takes, rook takes D8. Oh, I did. Takes E7. No, they had rook takes. Spicy. That just gives me this. But they were under a lot of pressure. They were under a lot of pressure. I think they need to play f6 themselves, otherwise I'm just gonna run them over. This is brutal. That knight at least defended mate. Rook takes or knight takes. Knight takes. Here? I think we've got a lot of good stuff. Maybe I blocked my rook coming over, which would have been better. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. Queen h5. So h6, rook d6. Where is the win? It's 5. Yeah, I think we got him here. Although I still need to finish this game. Queen f5. They're going to go g6, right? g6, queen f4. This has been a little annoying. Takes check. I mean, I must have missed a bunch of much easier ways here. Wanted to go check and takes. Seems like a safe pre-move. Yeah, check takes h5. Opponent's really thinking about how to keep hanging on by a thread and to keep extending this game just a little bit at a time. Oh. Okay. Eventually they're just running out of time themselves. Okay. GG. All right. I think there I am signing off for today. And there knight takes h7, followed by bishop take. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff here. Knight takes h7 here. Knight takes h7, rook takes e5. Yeah, I mean, I like this whole game I think was winning for a long time. All right, you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and be sure to join the Discord, as you can find the link to it there. And have a great day. I'll see you all next time.